Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Hi, everybody. I'm Raymond Sage. I'm the chair of MTEA Voice. Welcome to our inaugural member webinar. We're really excited that you guys are here, and really excited that Jared is also going to impart on us some of his observations and knowledge that he's picked up through the years. I don't really feel like I need to introduce Jared, but right before we do, I would like to introduce Andre Garner, who is our Vice President of Membership at MTEA, and he wants to give you a little welcome.
Well, yes, a little welcome. Thank you very much. Have a good night. I just wanted to thank Raymond for hosting this, and thank Jared for participating in this. And it's a wonderful new era here at MTEA, where we're enjoying the fruits of the people who've come before to establish MTEA, and we just want to take it to another level, especially when it comes to matters of diversity and inclusiveness. I think that's and it's certainly a valuable component of MTEA, and we're just looking forward to what the future brings and what it holds for us all. So thank you all for being here, for being a part of this wonderful night. And yeah, that's it. So if anyone actually wants to play a role and be a part of any of the committees that are happening with MTEA, please reach out. Yeah, I guess that's it. But thank you, Raymond.
Awesome. Thank you, Andre. Okay, so if you guys will keep the chat open for questions, Jared is going to talk for a little while, and then we'll dive into the questions pretty heavily. So I would like to take this opportunity to introduce my friend and colleague, Jared Trudeau. Yay!
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. So the way that I've structured this, I have two students of mine from the Boston Conservatory at Berklee, Aaron Patterson and Isaac Silver, who are going to be helping me, because I think that a discussion about singing without some actual singing can be kind of silly and seem really theoretical. So my goal with this is to just give you some different tools for working with your tenors, baritones, and basses when they want to start to get high. Move beyond the F point. So the first, I'm going to define some terms, and then I broke down how I view
she was my
training.
fourth person at Syracuse.
I can hear somebody.
Hi, guys. If we can make sure that we're all muted, thanks a lot.
So the first 10 minutes or so will be me defining some terms, and then I go through several different component parts to building a belt in these lower voices until we wind up putting it all together. So some of these are exercises and concepts that I did earlier on in their training, and some of them are where they're at right now. So I'm going to share my screen. I know that Raymond and Molly will be handling the chat, so if there's ever a sound that I'm having them demonstrate and you need to hear it again, throw that in the chat and Raymond will say, hey, have Aaron do that again, or something like that. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we are. So getting high, and I am going to, actually give me 1 second. I lost my cursor. There we go. Play. So this is getting high, exploring the belt in tenor, baritone, and bass voices. So I think it's important to start by looking at what our job is as musical theater voice teachers. At least in my idea, I think that it's our job to condition the voice and the body to respond to whatever dramatic impulse the singing actor has in the moment. So it's not our job to prescribe things because we think they're right, or because that's definitely what you're going to do. It's our job to make them flexible and to foster a technique that can start to run in the background and just be part of their actor toolkit. Because I think fearless singing actors will use compelling vocalism as one of their main acting tools, rather than something that's in opposition to their acting. It becomes part of their acting, not something that's separate from. I also think it's important to remember that not all colors are pretty, and that's the point. Our performers are not always going to be acting moments where they need to have beautiful sound. They might need to be intense. They might need to be chastising somebody. They might be making a rally call. That might not be pretty. It could be intense. It could be really compelling and captivating, but it might not always be a pretty sound. So up here in different rows, I have the varied vocal demands that we find with most of our lower voices. Not all, and not that all these are identical, but each of the rows requires a similar type of vocalism. I also tried to pick roles that hopefully you've listened to the soundtracks or you've seen them perform at the Tony Awards, so you've got a vocal Rolodex in your head of the sounds that I'm talking about. Aaron and Isaac will be making many of them later. But this first row are what we think of as like our typical young leading guy. It's going to be Fierro, Jack Kelly, Charlie Price, and that type of role is going to focus a lot on singing in the middle. So E flat to E flat. So a really well-balanced middle voice is paramount, and it has to come out of the text of all of the scenes, but then they might go above for really intense moments. So they'll have an excursion up to a G or an A flat or a B flat, but they're not living up there. Unlike the next row, who are sort of similar characters. They're youngish. They tend to be leading the show, but they, in addition to sitting in the middle a lot, they sing in the tessitura. Their tessitura is oftentimes including E to A, where they have lots of rapid syllables, where they're expected to move the plot along, and where they can't just kind of like do the Park and Bark, End of Santa Fe, Jeremy Jordan call, which is so riveting, but if you did that for the entirety of I'm Alive, you'd be pretty tired and we might not understand the words. Moving down, we have a bunch of roles where the singer is moving between colors a lot. So we're going from an open belt to maybe more of a poppy closed timbre chest mix into falsetto and back. And these singers, Frankie Valli and Moritz and Melchior and Orpheus, have to be able to flexibly move and not feel like they get stuck in any one lane. The goal is flexibility. Moving down, we have some of the like meteor sounds. We've got Robert Kincaid, which he sings It All Fades Away, and Steve Pasquale did it beautifully in the Broadway production. We've got Anatole in Chess, and we've got Cable in South Pacific. And these roles, we think of having a little bit more fold thickness. We're using a little bit more pharyngeal depth. Cable could be sung almost classically and still be commercially viable today. Or we could do it slightly smaller, but the sound is a bit meatier or heftier. And there's also typically expected to be kind of a robust middle speaking voice. Moving down is another category of roles that borrows a decent amount from some classical training. And we've got Fabrizio, Tony, and Monty. Now, these roles can be sung either quite legit, in quotes, or they can be a little bit more on the poppy side. It really depends on the music director and the world that the director is choosing to create. But we're looking for them to be flexible. And they have to have variable approaches to the passaggio. And then this last role are really fun because they get to do extended techniques. Jesus and Judas, Stacey Jacks, and Asaka bring a belt quality to C5 and up. Which is really fun, and often we don't think of our AMAB singers doing that, but they absolutely can. Belt is an event that occurs basically in the same point, regardless of the larynx. And that has to do with some acoustic things and with just the morphology of vocal folds. So, all of that is to say, farewell to Fach, or depending on your mood, F the Fach. We are not saying that we're putting our singers in a Fach system. They have to be able to move between these roles pretty easily, because you might have one contract that ends one day and 2 weeks later you're singing something that's very different. You could be singing Fierro one week and 2 weeks later you're going to go out and sing Cable. Or you might have to go do a symphony gig, which a student of mine has had to do before. Go and sing something pretty poppy, and then go sing Maria and Younger Than Springtime, and then some other rocky stuff with a big old symphony. And you've got to be flexible enough to move between both. Also, a lot of those roles are performed by people with very different styles, and that has to do with the casting team, and with the creative team. So, belting. We're here to talk about belting in our lower voiced singers. Belting is a diffuse term that can refer to lots of different things. Our students often hear it really just as a super general style indicator. Oftentimes some, not all, but many music directors will refer to it that way. Casting directors and directors will talk about belting and just kind of talk about, oh, that belt song. Could you make that beltier? Or, oh, that was too belty. And then it's their job to kind of be a thesaurus and translate for that. Belting can refer to the acoustic profile of a sound. There are lots of different acoustic definitions of belting. And luckily, those are starting to open up. Side note, plugging for some research that Amanda Flynn, Aaron Johnson, and I did with AFAB singers. But that's another topic for another day. And then belting can also refer to specific sets of physical actions that can be taken while singing. There are certain ways that we engage or relax muscles that will result in a belt. And then really it's kind of a gestalt thing that involves all of it. For our purposes today, I'm going to define belting in a general-ish way. I like to view it as a dynamic theatrical extension of our speech quality that carries emotional and acoustic intensity. Particularly in musical theater, we wouldn't belt if we didn't need to. Otherwise, it would just be in the middle of the voice, it would just be speaking, it would just be moving the plot along. But when we do belt, in addition to it being acoustically powerful, there also needs to be that emotional component, so that way we have earned it, for lack of a better term. It's an extension of speech quality beyond the traditional seconda passaggio that you might learn in a more traditional vocal pedagogy class. So that's going to be anywhere between, for our lowest voices, D and G. For some of our higher voices, maybe even A flat and A for some low voices with really, really tiny larynges. Generally, we're thinking about being in mode 1, also known as chest voice, laryngeal chest voice. And belt can be really thick or it can be really thin. And it just depends on what's needed. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more later. In order to talk about belting, we have to talk about mixing because the word mix gets thrown around a whole lot. So in my world, all belting is a mix. Not all mixing is a belt. Chances are, particularly for our lower singers, but also I think for many of our AFAB singers, if we are in mode 2, if we're in something head dominant, it's probably not, unless we're quite high, going to be commercially viable as a belt. I think it's important when we're training our students to really avoid instilling any fear of belting in your students. It's just extending your speech, and if your speech is vibrant and flexible, you'll be okay. My view of mixing is that it is borrowing. You're borrowing a function, you're borrowing a sensation that is easier in one mode of vibration and then applying it to another. So we have the 4 modes of vibration, mode 0 being fry, mode 1 being what we would consider most often chest voice, and that could be thick, ah, or thin, ah. Same mode of vibration, same higher up, ah, ah. Same mode, different filter. Mode 2, which is generally what we would consider head voice or falsetto, and that can be more, in my world, more or less speechy. So it could be really hooty, countertenor, woo, or it could be something that's a little more vernacular, or it could even be airy, and all of those are viable. And then there's mode 3, which in some people is whistle. Some people, whistle is an extension of mode 2, but also for the singers that we're talking about, don't really need to worry about it too much. So if we're viewing belt as an extension of our speaking voice, as an extension of what I'll call our speech mix, we are borrowing some stuff that's easier in mode 2. We are borrowing the space that's easy to find in falsetto. Ooh, it's easy to get our pharynx to release. It is easy to get a sensation of airflow. It's easy, in fact, kind of imperative, for us to get a degree of thyroid tilt, for our Adam's apple to rock so that our folds can lengthen and thin. We borrow that thinning function and we bring it over to mode 1. We bring it over to chest voice. And then we bring that up a little bit without flipping into mode 2. And that's why people will feel something as being mixed, rather than just being ha, which somebody could view as pure chest, or whoo, which would be pure head. They get the sensation of mixing them together, even though at the laryngeal level, we can't be in mode 1.5. You're always in one or the other, and then it's gradations of thin and thick, and what's happening with the filter above. So in order to mix, which is to say, in order to belt, we have to have some building blocks. And that includes a balanced, flexible, dynamic speaking voice where we focus on the middle and work outward. And then, concurrently, we're working on a well-coordinated falsetto. Unless you have a singer who has a whole bunch of scar tissue and can't access mode 2, and then you get the same tilting, thinning functions in other ways. I have seen some people where that happens, but that's more rare. Most everybody is going to have access to some kind of falsetto. So, moving into balanced speech. This involves having an ease of production, of vocal production across the vowel continuum from middle C down. Just right where we would expect most of our younger low voices to be speaking. If it's labored, if there's signs of extrinsic muscle tension, if there's rasp or fog in the voice, or major alignment imbalances like this, efficient belting is not a viable option. They might be able to belt. They might be able to get themselves up, but it being efficient, replicable, and something they can do for a long time is questionable. And then the foundation of building that middle voice is everything that I'm sure you all know. It includes onset, vowel formation, and ease of flow. So I wanted to do some exercises for building that easy speech. So if I'm going to do this so I can see Isaac and Aaron, and we're going to just do a little bit of work to build that, to show how I like to build the middle voice. So if I could see, I need them pinned. Isaac and Aaron, are you ready? There you are. Yeah, I'm gonna pin you. Awesome. So,
Jared, would you like us to turn off our video while you're working with the students? Or are you okay?
It's okay because I've got them big now.
Okay.
Aaron Patterson, could you please wave to everybody?
Hey everybody, I'm Aaron.
And then this is Isaac Silver.
Hey everybody, I'm Isaac.
And then there's his SpongeBob in the back. Anyway. So
Tucked away.
Yeah, he's gone for the night.
Great. So what I wanted to do first, I have this thing where I say we do some hums into buzzes into calls. So we'll start with you, Aaron. Could you just say for me like you've got a little car and you're going vroom 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 vroom.
Vroom, vroom,
Yeah, get straight to that M. Vroom.
vroom, vroom, vroom,
Vroom.
vroom.
Good. Where do you feel that buzz?
Right here.
Right there in your lips. Awesome. Let's find kind of hum around here. Go. Beautiful. Give me a little puppy pant. There you go. Same thing. Yeah, it's a little buzzier. Freed up the front of your abdominal wall. So now I want you to hum around, and then we're going to go to that Y buzzy sound. So it's like an oo and an E make a baby. Yeah, that we. So you're going to go from the M. Good. Now say for me. Beautiful. So where do you feel that those vibrations go from between the M and the E?
Up to the E, it does get it goes a little further back.
A little bit further back. Do you feel it like here-ish or like here?
A little more the second
Second, cool.
But I can keep that more forward.
Yeah, and you know what? That mostly probably has to do with your tongue position. So glue the tip of your tongue to the bottom teeth and middle of the tongue up. Me.
Me.
There you go. So right here, go me.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. That's nice and buzzy.
Out of the throat.
Yeah. So now give me me. Good. How do you feel that resonance track?
When I go up to the A, I lift a little more in the back, and then
Mhm.
the E is just more of the tongue height, like what we just did with the gluing the tip and pushing the middle up.
Cool.
Yay.
Yeah, but tip stays there, right?
Yeah.
Good. So now we're gonna do the E. Only one finger jaw drop toward the top. Yeah, we're looking for efficiency the whole time.
Got you.
Good. Now lengthen the back of the neck.
Mhm.
Yep, and then but keep your gaze on the horizon. Just a nice long cervical spine. There you go. Yay! A little bit more jaw drop.
Yay!
Good. Now say for me, go away.
Go away!
Nice. Now take the hand out and just speak. Go away.
Go away!
Nice. Go away.
Go away! Yay!
Good. How does that feel?
Really good. All aligned.
Yeah. One more. Yay!
Yay!
Now can you smooth that out? Yep.
Yay!
There you go. And now open to that little mini A halfway through.
Yay!
Now say for me, go away.
Go away!
There you go. And now just say for me, hi, my name is Aaron.
Hi, my name is Aaron.
And that already feels a little bit more flowy, a little bit more resonant, yeah?
Yeah.
Yay. Isaac, come over and do some busy bees. So Isaac came in with a real fuzzy speaking voice. So we had to work to get it to be nice and clean and clear. So just give me really, really clean. Busy bee. It's not going to be big and chesty. Just busy, or overly open.
Busy bee. Busy bee.
There you go. Instead of bee, just busy bee.
Busy bee.
There you go. Busy bee.
Busy bee. Busy bee.
Focusing on all that vibration.
Busy bee.
Nice. Now open that to the top. You're gonna go busy bee. Yay!
Busy bee.
Oh, but did you see how you went bee?
Busy bee.
There you go. Now watch the musicality of that. Instead of bee.
Busy bee.
Nice. And then track down to that really focused E at the bottom.
Busy bee.
How did that feel?
Good.
Yep.
Busy bee.
You do that with the long back of the neck and track up.
Busy bee.
Nice. Now give me a snort. There you go. Feel that up and back. That up and out opening, yeah? There you go.
Busy bee.
Better, yeah? And now both of you, I want to just do the kindly kindergarten teacher. So once that middle is set, then we start to kind of extend that range, and I like to do it with something that's just very easy. So could you both alternate and say, hello, class, it's nap time.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Beautiful, and now a little higher. Hello, class, it's nap time.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Beautiful. One more time, start a little lower, and then a kid is about to like throw some poop at another kid.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Hello, class. It's nap time.
Right? And then you just zip right on up from that easy foundation. Thank you both. We're going to move on to the next component part, which will go a little bit quicker. Let me make this play. All right. So next component, falsetto coordination. When we're thinking about falsetto, the essential action of falsetto or mode 2 is the rotational, and then depending on the type of CT facet you have, horizontal and gliding motion of the thyroid cartilage. Another talk for another day. There's a really cool study in Journal of Voice about the different types of facets. But we're looking to elongate and thin the vocal folds. For me, goal number 1 is finding a clean, noiseless falsetto at low volume, maybe mid volume, with a mid-laryngeal position. So it's not super low, and it's also not orbital up behind the eyes. And all of this is predicated on really, really nice alignment of the skull and cervical spine so that the larynx can appropriately suspend. If the student is coming forward, that rocking motion gets harder and harder to find the farther away from center we are. Oh, it's really, really hard. Hey, it's a whole lot easier right there. So we're already to our falsetto exercises. We're going to talk about some whimpers, some tongue elevation chirps, sad cow, and then bringing the falsetto low. Ending the share. So the other thing to note with falsetto is sometimes people really have poor access to it, and they have to go through what I call a drunk owl phase. Ooh, ooh. You're not wrong. That is falsetto. We'll get there. But the goal is to get it to be clean. So could you both just do little sad puppy whimpers for me? Good, and now a little lower. Good. So now go ahead, take your pointer finger, put it on the side of your Adam's apple of your thyroid cartilage, middle finger right underneath the tongue. Long back of the neck, and we're looking for that little bit of rocking. Isaac, just go. Good. Beautiful. And Aaron, we're going to make a sound that's not that. We're going to do some negative practice. So could you go? Good. Feel your neck. And now go. Good. Do you feel a difference in what's happening in your neck between the two?
Oh yeah, the air, the breathy one, it closes up.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that space.
Mm-hmm. So now, once somebody can get that, and some people might find it a little lower, around this area, then we can start doing some, I call them chirps, tongue elevation chirps. Rest your tongue on your bottom lip, and both of you feel for that same thing. Beautiful. Gorgeous. It's fun that they can do it in the same key. So the reason why we do some of this is the larynx actually winds up being in a very similarly tilted position when we go from falsetto into a belted sound. So I'll demo, and then each of you demo, I'll give you different pitches, yeah? So if I'm going, yeah! I'm in roughly this, I feel almost the exact same tilting right here. I feel almost identical. Yeah! Versus, without it, yeah! Yeah! just a little far back and not nearly as comfortable, not as sustainable. So Isaac, Aaron, what do you do first? So give me a, yeah!
Yeah. One more time. Yeah.
Here. Yeah!
Yeah.
Good, now Aaron, we're gonna do it lower. So here, yeah!
Yeah.
Good enough. Nice and piano.
Yeah.
Good. And there's a little bit of in that. Could you give me a?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. How's that feel?
Good.
Yeah. Can you show them what it would be without that little bit of thinning? So forget that we've done all the work we've done over the past couple years. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you came in singing your freshman year.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Let's get you back to the other one.
Yep. Yeah.
There you go. Nice. So now I want to play. We'll do this with you. Let's do some sad cow. Say. I will play that a little louder so you get the key. Nice minor scale. Beautiful. Now, you're still coming forward just a little bit. Nice long neck, bud. Yeah, and relax the cheeks. Yeah, and now do like kind of more of the chirpy one. Yeah, so we're looking for that flexibility, and I like to bring sad cow or the sad diva. That's me, and she just got fired. Give me that.
That was major. Sorry.
That's it's okay. So a nice
Like
relax.
I said.
Good, and now just get good, and you're doing something funky with your jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you bottom it out even lower?
Yeah. In head voice or trans?
Yeah, you're gonna stay falsetto all the way down.
Okay.
There you go, and then you bottom it out, right? So I really like to extend falsetto as low as we can, so that way you can think of, oh, I'm bringing some of that thinning function in already here. A, B, B, yeah! And then you can go into the belt, and it already feels like you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say that also helps me not overproduce in the lower parts in the middle of the range as well.
Yeah, Aaron can make some big old noises, which is great, but sometimes a little more than we're after. Yeah.
A lot of times.
So moving on, putting it all together. So now really continuing to build this belt, which is oh wow, inhaled water. Sorry. There we go. Putting it all together really just means we're extending that speech up and above the comfy zone. So the comfy zone tends to end around like C4 or D4 for some of our like lower AMAB singers. And if we've done all the work beforehand, it's pretty easy to get them above there without them even thinking about it. I find that for most students, high energy, dramatically motivated exercises will get you there faster. And then you do have those students that just really are more comfortable if they can track a sensation. So if they are one of those people who can find replicable, efficient sympathetic vibration somewhere in their face, I call that resonance tracking, and you already heard me do it. That's the which is loosely based. I spent a lot of time doing Lesak work, so it's loosely based in the Lesak work that I did. And that can carry really high. So we have that middle voice that's all lined up where we want it to be, and then we can move in and out of it without it feeling like a big event, right? Belting shouldn't feel like a big event. It's just what's called for because the song keeps moving along. And then also remember that the sound can be thicker or thinner depending on what's needed. So thicker could be like we talked about earlier, the Steve Pasquale. That'd be which my voice kind of likes to do. If I were real tired or just didn't feel like doing that, I could do both are belter. And it's our job to make sure our students are flexible enough to do that. And doing all of that work with falsetto, with lower larynx falsetto, with mid larynx falsetto, with it being really hooty and really not hooty is going to help. So now we're going to talk about some different belt exercises. I just want to kind of blast you with some, and then you can ask questions about specific ones later. I want to give you some tools for your toolkit. So the first one that we're going to talk about is the bro belt. We'll start with you, Isaac. Can you say for me, dude, what up?
Dude, what up?
Good. Dude, what up?
Dude, what up?
Nice. And can you show them what you used to do? So pull that tongue back and make a little bowl. Go, dude, what up?
Dude, what up? Oh my God.
Yep.
What
up?
What up? Something
Yeah, it used to get a little bit like, he was adding a lot of to it before, and luckily you can't even like replicate it. So thank you, I'm glad. But we want to keep that mid portion of the tongue nice and high the whole time. Dude, what up?
Dude, what up?
Good, and Isaac's voice is a little higher than Aaron's. Can you do it up here? Dude, what up?
Dude, what up?
Good. Aaron, here.
Yeah. Dude, what up?
Good, now even broier, so you're gonna think that nice out space and back. It's not down, it's out and up. Dude, what up?
Dude, what up?
There you go. What? And now add a little cry into it. What up?
What up? What up?
Good. And now a cousin to the bro belt is the confused jock in the back of the room, which is also awful. I should probably rephrase this, but just the guy in the back of the room who doesn't get it. Say, dude, I don't get it.
Dude, I don't get it.
Good. Now a little higher. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
There you go. And then look at the you. You close the vowel.
Oh, yeah, the it.
Yeah, which is good. We're gonna talk about closed vowels in a couple minutes. Just give me a what up.
What up?
Nice. Isaac.
What up?
Good. Anchor your back. So yeah, give me engage those lats for me.
What up?
Good. Now do it with the arms down and just ask me what's up. What up?
What up?
Good for you. So now we're gonna just do all sorts of hey guys.
Hey guys.
Good. Hey, where are ya?
Hey, where are ya?
A little lower. Hey, where are you?
Hey, where are you?
Good. Aaron, you've got some shopping that you don't want to get wet. There's one cab and like 20 other folks behind you who want it. Hey, taxi!
Hey, taxi!
Hey, taxi!
Hey, taxi!
Hey, taxi, but up.
Hey, taxi!
Can you do it without lifting that way?
Hey, taxi! Hey, taxi!
Good. Now, Isaac, look at Aaron. He just left his dirty dishes in the sink. My God, you suck.
My God, you suck. My God, you suck. My God, you suck. My God, you suck.
Good. Give me a little puppy pant. Free up the front of the abdominal wall. Yep.
My God, you suck.
Good for you.
My God, you suck.
Good. Think a little bit more up and out. Go ahead and put your fingers right in front of your tragus. Yep. Feel
My
like
God, you suck.
good again.
My God, you suck.
Nice. Can we do just a couple little seagull cries? Who wants to do the yes?
He does.
He does? Great. So we're gonna do similar to what we were doing before. You're gonna have a high falsetto chirp and then open to a high tongue belt, yeah? So you're gonna go yeah, but that hey before it.
Yeah.
Good. Now, like it says on this mug that a student made for me, Jared's Vocal Tips, number 3, this is designed to sound horrible. This is a functional exercise that is not meant for public consumption. Yeah. Good. Now could you pull the volume back 25%?
Yeah.
Good. Now make it just a tongue thing. It's not a jaw thing. Good. Now you're going to go nice and quick, and then sustain the top. You're going to go, yeah, yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good. How'd that feel?
Good. Easiest it's felt in a while.
Yay. I'm glad. So we're going to do, because I do want to get to this next thing. All right, we're going to talk about some of these after, if there's a little bit of time. I do love to use pop songs as vocalises. Shut Up and Dance is a favorite. Edge of Glory is a favorite. I can show some of that after if people are interested. And we've already seen a little bit of the biting of the finger. Actually, Aaron, could you just do a quick little demonstration of that for me? So once the color is available and they're able to move pretty freely within the belt in the G to A flat A range, I like to start making it a little bit more efficient because a lot of times people will start going, hey guys, hey, how are you? And it's really, really mouthy. So then we start with as little space as we need, right? And it's the space we need. Different singers will need different amounts of space, but we're looking through the range to see how much we need. We're gonna start you right here and just give me, yay.
Yay!
Good, now make sure the jaw doesn't come forward to the finger, it's just resting there.
Yay!
Good, now give me a knuckle.
Yay!
Keep the tongue forward as you do it. Yay!
Yay!
There you go again.
Yay!
Good, now show them what dropping all the way sounds like.
What'd you say?
Show them what dropping all the way sounds like.
Yay! Yay!
There you go. I was gonna say, it's not that bad. You've also done a lot of work to become flexible there. Show them Aaron of 2 years ago. Just a little overpowered.
Yay! Grip.
Grip. Yep, so now, nice and easy. Yeah!
Yay!
Good, now do yeah.
Yeah!
Good, think of that up and out space.
Yeah!
Good, now without coming forward, yeah.
Yeah!
Good, now hands down. That amount of space, just say, yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy!
Good, and you've got a little bit of shoulder stuff going on today, but we'll deal with that in a lesson. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So we're gonna keep going, because I've just got a little bit more. I know that I'm running out of time. So we do have to talk about closed vowels. The impulse is often to focus on open vowels. They're really fun. They're what we stereotypically think of when we are thinking of belting. We're thinking of it happening on a, o. But the industry kind of perceives any intense spoken type vowel above a certain point to be belted. And the ability to equalize resonance across the vowel spectrum allows for entire phrases to be considered belted, even if they're not all traditional, in air quotes, belt vowels. So it's also important to remember that we've got open and closed vowels as a phonetic event. That's what you remember from your diction classes. E, U, E, those are closed vowels phonetically. A, E, O, open vowels. And then we've got open and closed timbre. We've been working a lot in open timbre right now. And now we're going to play around in closed timbre, which can happen on both open and closed vowels. So here are some closed vowel exercises. Many of these could be done either open or closed, which we'll show you. But we want to start to work once they've got pretty easy access through G, A flat, A. We want to start making sure that they can zip up so they don't sound like this above the staff. It doesn't work, or at least they won't get work if they're doing that. If you go, take a chance on, not going to get a job. Take a chance on. So, again, let's start with some no way, no how. And we're going to think real Minnesota up in here. Minnesota or Canada. Yeah, say, we'll start with you, Isaac. Say, open it first, go, oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no, no, no.
And it's so nice. A little higher.
Oh, no, no, no.
Good. Now can you close that? Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no, no, no.
Nice. Now think of keeping that same, for lack of a better word, buzz, that fronty buzz that you get in the open sound when you close the vowel. Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no, no, no.
There you go. Could you give me no way, no how?
No way, no how.
No way, no how.
No way, no how.
Good. So Aaron just asked to borrow your SpongeBob for the evening.
No way, no how. No way, no how. No way, no how.
Good. Now watch. You're building up a little bit of tension on the end. So these muscles right under here are getting involved. Just say to me, no, 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 no.
No, 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 no.
Yeah, nice and loose. It's the same when you're up on a B flat. No way, no how.
No way, no how.
There you go. Say no, no, no.
No, no, no. No way, no how.
Beautiful. Now, Aaron, right here. So it's going to be top of the middle. So you think a little thinner than you have to be. Oh, no, no, no.
Oh, no, no, no.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
And then open it. No, no, no.
No, no, no.
Good. Close and then open. Close and open.
No, no, no.
There you
No,
go.
no.
Nice.
The whole exercise.
Yeah.
No,
You
no,
did.
no. No, no, no.
And then zip it. No, no, no.
No, no, no.
There you go. And then Aaron likes to get a little dark. We're working on brightening him up right now. Yeah?
That closed, yes.
They're getting that close to brighten. Yeah? Can you do the nim exercise for me? So give me the nim, 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 nim.
Nim, 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 nim.
Good. Now, even though it's nasal, that doesn't mean it needs to be ugly.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So for the teachers in the room, sometimes when people go to make nasal sounds or twangy sounds, they way overdo it. Twang is a really small event that happens. And a lot of times if people try to boost it or think it's like the foundation, they'll wind up pinching a whole lot. We don't need that. It can still be pretty and nasal at the same time. Is inherently nasal, right? So keep the warmth that you were finding in the nim, 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 nim.
Nim, 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 nim.
Good. Nice on back to the neck, shoulders down.
Nim, 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 nim.
Good.
Nim, 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 nim.
Good. Can you put one finger on your nose, one finger on your ponytail, right? Ponytail above the nose. Nim, 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 nim.
Nim, 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 nim. One more time.
Yeah, see what happens if you think of putting a little bit more work in your transversus, yeah? Feel that drop and engage.
Nim, 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 nim.
Pretty good. Now, nim, 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 nay, I. So open on the A after closing the nims.
Nim, 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 nay, I.
Nice. And that, do you feel how that kind of depressurizes the A a little bit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Isaac, why don't you do this one? So can you open may, oh, may I? May, oh, may I?
May, oh, may I.
And close it.
May, oh, may I.
Good. So that's a little low for you, but not so legit, yeah? May, oh, may I?
May, oh, may I.
There you go.
May, oh, may I.
Nice. I don't feel like I have to hold it in. Just nice and easy. May, oh, may I?
May, oh, may I.
Gorgeous. Now, show me what, like, kind of legit would be.
May, oh, may I.
Yeah. So when we're working on your Pirates of Penzance, you might play around with that. Now give me Evan Hansen. May, oh, may I?
May, oh, may I.
Close it, though.
May, oh, may I.
Right? Because can you go, waving?
Waving.
And now do waving.
Waving.
That second one is going to be a whole lot more sustainable for 8 shows a week. Right?
Yeah.
And now, Aaron, say, how dare you? Open it. How dare you?
How dare you?
Good. Now, just say, you don't have to over open it. Just say it and keep open timbre.
How dare you?
There you go. And now close it. Air. How dare you?
How dare you? How dare you?
There it is. Yeah. And now a little higher. How dare you?
How dare you?
There you go. A little lower. How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Same thing here.
How dare you?
Nice. Can you give it the same spin and the same ease that you had on the lower pitch?
How dare you?
Nice. And give me a little vibrato. How dare you?
How dare you?
Say yee.
Yee.
Do a falsetto for me once. How dare.
How dare you?
But close the vowel. It's gonna.
How
It,
dare you?
yeah, it feels like E. Do it again.
How dare you?
There you go. Now keep that same space, that shape, keep that same sense of flow when you go to the speech mix. How dare you?
How dare you?
Pretty good. Long back of the neck. Yeah, so
How
no,
dare you?
good. Now, release the jaw. You're tightening a little bit right there. How dare you?
How dare you?
There, how dare you?
How dare you?
Better.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
it coming. It's
Yep, and then keep that middle portion of the tongue coming a little further forward.
How dare you?
Yeah. So we're this is a color that we've recently started exploring, and you are doing
Scared.
giant work. Thank you for being brave in front of a whole lot of people.
Broadway.
So really quick, one more slide, and then we'll get into questions, and I can do some more work with these guys. So I just wanted to talk quickly about transitions and flexibility. The transitions actually occur in really similar points to our AFAB singers. We enter the belt between F and G. There tends to be a sense of lightening around B flat B. And then that's a point where a lot of AMAB singers are going to want to close, but they could keep the vowel open. I can have Isaac show that actually. And then around D flat, E flat 5, all the vowels are going to converge into high belt color anyway. And our goal is that people can move from falsetto to speech to belt, to speech mix to belt and back in order to feel like they're really fully conditioned. When that's not the case, you just have to figure out where the imbalance lies and where you need to put a little bit more focus. And then I've got just a thank you slide. So I would love to just have Isaac do a quick little high belt exercise to show what happens once you get somebody who's pretty advanced and who wants to play around with their tip top. So can you do that little cuperto sound for me again? That yep, nice and easy. Tiny opening in front, huge opening in back. There you go. So you transition from mode 2 to mode 1. There you go. There you go. Now start with that really, really tiny buzzy sound. Start with it in chest voice here. Ride that up, and about 3/4 of the way up, open to your vowel. Good. Now just give me a little cry into it. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah!
yeah.
Yeah!
Good. Yeah.
Yeah! Yeah!
Can you slide it a little bit more and just give me a little, make sure that tongue stays nice and flat.
Yeah! Yeah!
Good. Now give me a then I don't have a D right now. Yeah. But you're gonna
Yeah!
there you go. How'd that feel?
Good.
Yeah, and he's got a little bit of something going on right there, right when he sets it, because he doesn't trust it fully yet. But we're gonna work to get that away. So that's how we start to build the really fun extension colors that we talked about in that last row. So I know that I went over, but I'm happy to stay longer for questions.
You're good, Jared. I think we're just fine on time, and we'll call it closer to when we really need to leave. While I would encourage everybody to formulate your questions if you have any, and put them in the chat, please, and we'll get Jared to talk about them. As we do that, Jared, I had a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
You said the term zipping it up. Are you using that synonymously with singing in a closed timbre?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. I should have defined my terms. I apologize. Yeah, that for me, zipping, it just feels like it's going that way. And that's also some of the SLS, some of the Seth Rick stuff really feels like you're just slimming and zipping the sound up. And no, which can be really effective for certain colors, and then we just have to open it back up.
Yeah, yeah. Also, a lot of us come from classical backgrounds where the soft palate plays a significant role in the production of sound.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't talk a whole lot about the soft palate tonight. Can you talk a little bit about what your view of the soft palate in belting for male identifying voices is?
Yeah, I think the whole name of the game with the soft palate is that it's flexible. We don't need nasality in a lot of what we're doing. So we do get, if we're thinking about like the different muscles that are controlling it, we've got those two main groups, the Levanti Veli Palatini and the Tensor Veli Palatini. The Levanti Veli Palatini basically works like a garage door. And we open back this way and then it closes off the velopharyngeal port. That's for most colors, that's still there, because I don't find that with many, unless it's a character voice, professional, like really elite professional singers, they're singing with nasality. So we do work with like with a lot of snorting, with like the Linklater inhaled K is excellent. I love that for people who don't have awareness. I also do some for soft palate stuff because I do train, like I'm pretty dictatorial with soft palate flexibility. We'll do straws where they have to have the sound go through the nose and then go through the straw in bubbles to make sure that they can control it. And then the degree of flex in the soft palate and the degree of release of the pharyngeal constrictors, that varies based on the color. So it doesn't feel like it's kind of in that, because it's in good classical singing, it's never locked either, but it feels like it's perpetually domi. And then with the belting, it doesn't always feel that way. We don't always have quite as much of that out space. My colleague Christy Turnbow calls it singing cubes and tubes. So sometimes we're more tubey and sometimes we're more cubey. And that cube or tube could be really big or not so big. So I do find that we do have to work with flexibility and the ability to identify whether the soft palate is up and down, and then the degree of flex that we have on it. Because it can feel like it gets locked in that like hyper flexed position, and that kind of precludes some of the sounds that we're after.
Yeah, good. And one of our questions was hearing a little bit more about the snort, but I actually think you just addressed that as well. Yeah.
Yep. When you do the snort, you can kind of aim the snort too, and it looks ridiculous, but you can aim it to the corners, and you can like feel the corners. You can feel like your palatine arches. It's really fun.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like a lot of what we were hearing tonight, a lot of what was being demonstrated by both you and Aaron and Isaac, that there is a lot of mode one in the sound once you get above a certain certain pitch level.
So with a lot of what we're doing, it's definitely still mode one, but we're not in a thick mode one. So like I like to use fingers as a proxy for fold depth. So like this would be a one finger. So the thickest sound is going to be there. A lot of what we're doing when we're talking about belts and speech mix colors is in like a 3-finger mix or maybe like 2.5, but getting to the point where we could very easily flip over into mode 2, but we're not.
Yeah.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Unless you've got like those examples of It All Fades Away or Younger Than Springtime, where we are looking for a little bit meatier, or if the music director is after a much thicker sound when you're singing Maria. Something that verges on, oh, this would be self-amplified.
Also, the singers that you had tonight were fantastic and relatively advanced.
Yes.
So if a freshman walks in my door, can you give me some essential exercises out of the ones that we worked tonight? Some of them were fairly advanced, right?
Yeah.
Could you give me like the 5 best ones that you would work?
Yep. So I would do, for mode 2, I would do the whimpers and I would do sad cow. They tend to be able to get into that. And the whimpers might not go as high as these two were doing it. Somebody might find their whimper on a G, between middle C and G. If they can go, oh no, if they can do That's plenty. We just find the area of least resistance, or if it's a particularly low voice. I have a couple of seniors now who can't, like, they still have like this low A. I have two of them that have low A's, and it boggles my mind. But now they're belting this A now. But we found clearer falsetto on A below middle C. That's where we started, and then we worked out from there. And then I like to play with sad cow. They just kind of get into it, and it's an easy way to get them to kind of learn how to stabilize. And then when you're building the middle voice, the middle speaking voice, I think that the hums. Oh, sad cow is minor. I like to do it in minor. Or the sad diva who just got fired. Me, me, me. Or the sad cow diva who just got fired. And then it can be really happy and smaller. And then you can play around. That's where you can start to play around with different filters or filter configurations. In terms of building the easy speech, that's where I like to play around with the hums, buzzes, and calls. So really getting them to be able to find a nice, thin, not overly pressurized me, me, ma, me, playing around in that area, which for most of your singers is going to happen between B flat, an octave, a little more than an octave below middle C. So B flat 2, yes. And F3. Most of them are going to find the event in between there, up to G, depending on the voice. But I think that finding that ease, and then moving into stuff like busy, busy B, can be really, really helpful. So that, and the busy B, the highest I really bring it normally is like F major or G flat major with C or D flat on top. And then I bring that down just to make sure the bottom isn't too pressurized. And then in terms of belting, I think that the bro belt and doing, so that's the what up? And they might find it on E, they might find it on E flat, they might find it on G, depending on where it is. And the biggest thing is making sure that the tongue doesn't dip down. So they're not thinking of but what up? And then what up? Or what up? What up? Whatever. It's the sound that's important, not any configuration of solfege syllables. And then, hey guys, hey taxi, my God, you suck. Any of those, like, okay, I can get into this speech really easily. I can do a 5-1 or a 8-5-3-1. My God, you suck. Or another fun one is if you cue them that like somebody like their celebrity crush just walked in the room and they go, my God, you're hot. And then they can't put it back in their mouth. They said it. It came out. It surprises them a little bit. And they're like, oh Lord. And then they can't stop talking. My God, you're hot. My God, you're hot. Oh my God, why am I still talking? It can be a fun, dramatic way to get them into that. And normally it's not too shouty. That's
great. That's great, Jared. Just a couple of other questions. Sometimes young men have issue finding that whimper or cry sound. Do you have any tips or suggestions of how we can get them to find it?
Yeah. So some will find the whimper on its own into falsetto. If they have a hard time getting that, I'll see if they can do the same like sad puppy whimper, but in really thin chest voice first. Oh no, and finding that really sweet speech and then doing something like that, or intentionally breaking or yodeling. Like I do a lot of yodels and a lot of intentional breakage. So some of the people who like can't access that very easily, it's because they don't want to go back to that time where their voice is cracking all the time during the voice change. And just like letting go, being like, nope, cracks are great. Cracks are really good. They're gonna help us grow. And then in terms of the cry, this is a whole nother presentation that I've given before of like how you build up and break down a cry. But you have to remember that cries or that intentional crack is always 2 pitches. So it's not just, if you're hearing, why? That wasn't just, why? It was, what do I do? Why? I do a full octave. Why? So I'll have people, if they're having a hard time with that, we do a lot of or It sounds really gross. But we do cracking from falsetto into the little bit of call to get them used to what that is. And then we speed it up. Doing that type of stuff.
Cool. Hey, I'm going to throw a question out there. So Richard Miller told us that there was a primo passaggio around the B flat, B and C area, right? In a classical oriented pedagogy. Does that have a role in belting?
So it doesn't. We have to pretend when we're building the belt. We have to pretend like it doesn't exist. We want our students to be able to be flexible and move through it and honor that mini transition that occurs when we're keeping a stable laryngeal position. But we want them to be able to move up as though it didn't happen. So we allow the larynx to be flexible. And instead of going, if I were to go here, sorry, if I were to do ma, that's D major, no transition. If I'm going up classically on G flat major, because I'm a tenor, there should be a little mini turn. That is not me changing anything. That's me staying stable. And then acoustically, we get that little bit of a mini turn. If I'm going up classically, I'm going to honor that. If I am not going up classically, I don't honor that. I try to get it to be the same timbre as the bottom, and then up, and then I start to carry that up as though I didn't have that little mini turnover, that primo passaggio event.
Yeah, excellent. Stu wants to know a little bit more about the yodel in the chirp sound.
Yes, absolutely. And Isaac and Aaron, you're free to go.
Yes, thank you so much,
guys.
guys.
I know you got things to do.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Yay. Sorry, could you ask the question again?
Yeah, just talk a little bit more about the little yodel in the chirp sound.
Yeah, so the chirp is basically we're doing, like, I like to view it as like coordinating and getting as much flexibility in the cricothyroid joint as we can, which is, that's the one where I have them feeling their thyrohyoid space, so the space between this cartilage and the hyoid bone. And then what we're doing is looking for that little bit of rocking that occurs without any constriction above. So if we think of the piriform sinuses, if we think of the space right above the vocal folds as being like a little flower bulb, we don't want it to constrict inward, right? Because otherwise the voice won't bloom. Haha, look at that, made it a metaphor. But we want to look at that staying nice and wide and free, and none of the suprahyoids getting involved. So I like to have people do it with their tongue resting on the bottom lip, and thinking of the middle tongue going up towards their molars, their upper molars. So that way we don't get the, because that's going to get in the way. Oh no! We're finding that little trippiness. And then that's like really, really thin, super efficient, not a whole lot of airflow. It's not, which has a decent amount of flow. I'm doing, and that feels really similar to like, I can go back and forth, and there's a whole lot of the configuration that's really similar. So that's part of why I'm doing that. And once they can get it, I do a lot of like octave displacement where we go. Looking for the speaking voice and that falsetto to feel really similar. That's a whole nother talk about like different like flexibility qualities. But that's part. Did that answer the question?
Yeah, absolutely, it did. Also, there was a question about, would you use these same type of exercises in teaching a female identifying student?
Yeah, all of them, which is really fun. And actually, the nice thing is, for me, like I've got a yo-yo-y larynx that likes to go up and down, so I can model almost as high as I need them to go. Which is really fun, but I use all of these the same way. The biggest difference is that the industry, actually most vocal industries, allow AFAB singers to sing equally in both mode 1 and mode 2. You're constantly in head voice, you're constantly in head voice, head mix, whatever, and you're constantly in something chesty. There's a huge interplay between the two. Whereas with most of our lower voice singers, we are expecting 90 to 95% of the singing that they do in public to be mode 1. So there's a difference. We have to rebalance the training to kind of compensate for that discrepancy, and that like lack of flexibility in just what they do when they're performing in the repertoire. And it also, there are just some special considerations when you're training your young lower voices, because there are some things that happen in the middle voice that just are really different because our folds are thicker, right? Even though the gross anatomy is the same, it's all the same parts. The fact that there's a size differential in the vocal folds and in the cartilages and in the way that the muscles are being pulled does mean that there's varied phenomenology. So the way that they experience it. So there are certain things that I didn't talk about today with like C to C that we don't have to worry about. I don't have to worry about with most of my sopranos and mezzos and such.
Great. I think we've just the last call for a quick question or so. We should probably wrap it up. If anybody has anything, throw it in the chat right quick. This has been really informative, Jared. Thank you so much for doing this. I find that so much of what you do, I also do in my studio. Imagine that. How did that happen?
I know.
All right. Well, I think we have wrapping things up. Jared, thank you so much. And just reminding everyone that we will reconvene our webinar series 2021 on May the 2nd at 7 p.m. With training transgendered singers, which should be really fascinating. We will send out that information a little closer to time. So thank you again, Jared. And thank you everybody for coming. We'll see you all soon. Have a great night.
Feel free to reach out.
Bye-bye.